Did he say their name and then put their play their walk-up song? Yeah. You need my charger to plug that in? Sure is. I don't think it's
Hello again, everybody. David Clary here at Bobby Hopkins Field getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge taking on the Campbell County Cougars in a District 3 baseball game here. This game originally scheduled to be played at Campbell County, but because of field conditions, they've moved the ball game here to Bobby Hopkins. So that is why Oak Ridge on the scoreboard today will be the visiting team, and they'll lead things off with Caden Black, the shortstop. And we're about to get underway here from Bobby Hopkins. The wind, the pitch to the plate is, it looked a little high, but if they called a strike, no balls in one strike. It'll be Caden Black, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Logan Rosenberger. He'll be playing third base today. Alex McNaughton batting third. He's in center field. The one strike pitch is hit right up the middle, and that's a solid single in the center field. So a good start for the Wildcats as Black singles to center field. That'll bring up the third baseman, Logan Rosenberger. The Wildcats will take on Campbell County again tomorrow here at Bobby Hopkins Field. It's a big district ball game. The Wildcats come in at 4-4 in district play. Let's see what Logan can do here. Looking at the pitcher for the Cougars, his name is Dabney. We only have their last names. Not a very big guy. He's a right-handed thrower for the Cougars. They're wearing their traditional orange and blue gray pants. The pitch to the plate is on the inside corner for a called strike. We have Zach Dorman doing camera work for us here today, so if you can't see the ball game, you can blame Zach. I'll give out his cell phone number later so everybody can kind of harass him. Quick throw over to first, and back safely will go Caden Black. Let me continue on with the Oak Ridge lineup. Batting fourth will be the right fielder Caden Updegraff. Batting fifth will be the pitcher Jacob Franklin. Caden takes his lead. Caden Black takes his lead off of first. He's going. Here's the pitch inside. There's no way in the world they're going to get him. A stolen base for Caden Black. The ball goes into shallow center field and all the way down to third. Black. Catcher after the stolen base, and RBI opportunity here for Logan Rosenberger. Ledwikowski will follow Franklin, then Truett Tex, Bryson Parks, and Jason Slay. That is the final batters in Coach Free's order. Pitch is hit on the ground, one hop to the third baseman. He boots it, and he's going to throw on the first, and it's a bang-bang play, and he called him out. Unable to advance was Caden Black. The ball bounced off the glove of the third baseman who was actually playing in. And that's one out here in the first inning, and the batter will be Alex McNaughton, the center fielder. We're on our Prep Radio channel. Appreciate you watching our game. It's kind of an unscheduled ball game today, but we're happy to bring it to you. There's Samaj Clark in the house here. Lady Wildcat. The pitch to the plate is a ball. One ball and no strikes to count. One out here. Wildcats have a runner at third. McNaughton stands in once again. Pitch to the plate. Low on the outside portion of the plate. Call a strike, and the count is even at one ball and one strike. Caden the short lead off at third. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. And Alex falls behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caden up to Graff. He'll be heading to West Point. He is committed to being in the United States Army. Congratulations to him. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bounced about 3 feet in front of the plate. Nice catch by the catcher, Goins, and saves a wild pitch and perhaps a run. The count is even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here. 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, cut on a miss, and that is a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 2 here. So it's going to take a 2-out hit from the number 4 hitter and right fielder, Caden Updegraft. Mentioned Caden announced today that he's going to be going to West Point, so congratulations to him. He had several options, and I'm glad to see that he's committed to the United States Military Academy. Breaking pitch, a little bit low this time. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Pitcher Jacob Franklin is on deck for the Wildcats, but there's 2 outs in the inning. Dabney from the stretch, breaking pitch on the inside corner. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Beautiful day here, a little cool. Wind's blowing out towards right as it normally does. Here's a breaking pitch. Hit foul right at the plate, and once again Dabney ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's not going to overpower you, at least what we've seen here in the early going of the first inning. A lot of breaking pitches at a slow speed. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Caden Black, the runner at third. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hits him. And down to first will go Caden Updegraff with a hit by pitch. So the Wildcats will have runners on the corners, and the batter will be the pitcher, Jacob Franklin. The junior will be pitching for the Wildcats today. He will be having some shoulder surgery as soon as the season is over. Has a little labrum issue, but he's still out there, a trooper for the Wildcats pitching. Runner going from first, high and inside, no throw. And down to second will go Updegraff. So the Wildcats now have 2 runners in scoring position. And a 1 ball, no strike count on Jacob Franklin. 1-0 pitch, down low, a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. First baseman Bryce Ledwikowski on deck for the Wildcats. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Top of the first inning here at Bobby Hopkins. Here's the pitch to Jacob on the inside corner for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Dabney from the stretch, the pitch, down low, a ball, 3 balls and 1 strike. Oak Ridge dugout making a lot of noise down to our left. Campbell County dugout a little quiet. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch. Breaking pitch high, but they called it a strike. It was above the belt, right at the letters. And the count is full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Black takes his lead off of third. Updegraff off of second. And Jacob calls time and steps out of the box. The pitch to the plate is hit on the ground, hard to the shortstop. Feels it, then fumbles it, goes right between his legs, and 2 runs will score. The Wildcats are going to take a 2-0 lead. The ball was hit hard on the ground to the shortstop, Sharp. He just didn't get his glove down. We're right between his legs, scooted out into left field, and the Wildcats have plated 2 runs. So tough play there for the Cougars. The Wildcats have a 2-0 lead over Campbell County, and they'll bat here with the first baseman, Bryce Ledwikowski. Jacob was able to get all the way down to second base, so he's in scoring position now for the Wildcats. And the batter is Bryce Ledwikowski. Bryce coming off of a home run the other day against Kingston. First baseman for the Wildcats, and he takes one at the belt for a called strike. Zach Norman doing camera work for us here. We had Joey Weston helping us out. Breaking pitches hit in the air. Shallow. 40-100. One hay drops it right off his glove, and in to score will come the Wildcats pinch runner. And the Wildcats, just like that, have a 3-0 lead. That is another error by the Campbell County Cougars. Just a high fly ball. He kind of circled it, tried to make a one-handed grab off to his left, and that is an error. And all the way down to second will go Bryce Lebowkowski, and now the Wildcats have a 3-0 lead, and the batter will be the designated hitter, Truett Tex. He hits the ball foul off to the right side and out of play. Truett is hitting today for the left fielder for the Wildcats, Izzy Mitchell. Bryson Parks, the catcher, on deck. 2 outs. The Wildcats have scored 3 runs here in the top of the first inning. Unearned runs against Dabney. Pitch bounced to the plate, and that's going to allow the runner to advance down to third. Ball bounces away, and Campbell County struggling a little bit here in the top of the first inning. They're down 3-0, and Truett Tex has a 1-ball, 1-strike count on him. Runner at third, Lebowkowski. Reached on an error just a moment ago. 2 errors, actually 3 errors in the inning for Campbell County. Throwing error by the catcher, which allowed an extra base. An error by the shortstop and an error by the left fielder. Pitch to the plate, breaking pitch, hit in the left field. That's going to be another run's going to score. The Wildcats will bring in Bryce Lebowkowski, and Truett Tex has an RBI single. And that is the second hit of the inning. Caden Black led off the inning with a solid single. And the Wildcats, just like that, have a 4-0 lead over Campbell County here in this district ball game from Bobby Hopkins Field. Number 8 hitter and Coach Free's lineup steps in. That'll be the catcher, Bryson Parks. The pitch to the plate is a breaking pitch, a little high, but he called it a strike. And the count is no balls in 1 strike. Runner at first, Truett Tex. 2 hits in the inning, 4 runs for the Wildcats, 3 errors by Campbell County. Pitch to the plate, hit in the air to center field. Center field has a beat on it and makes the 2-handed grab, does Ferguson, for out number 3. But a very productive top half of the first inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats take a 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the inning. And we'll be back here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the bottom half of the first inning on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're watching the ball game. We'd like to have about 60,000 of you watching on our YouTube channel. Setting the defense for the Wildcats, Jacob Franklin is the pitcher for the Wildcats. The catcher is Bryson Parks. The first baseman is Bryce Lebowkowski. Jason Slays at second. Caden Black's at short. Logan Rosenberger is at third. Izzy Mitchell is in left. Alex McNaughton in center. And Caden Updegraff is in right field. And Jacob's first pitch is a called strike. The batter for the Cougars is Ferguson. He's the center fielder for Campbell County. We don't have their first names. Apologize for that. Junior Franklin ahead of the count. Here's the 1-strike pitch, cut on and missed. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Franklin, long hair. He kind of looks in for the sign from Parks, and Ferguson get tired of waiting for him and called timeout. Count is 0-2. Sidearm, called strike 3, and that's out number 1 here. Didn't take the bat off his shoulder, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom half of the first inning. The batter will be the third baseman for them, Williams. Right-handed hitter. Williams playing third base, as I mentioned. Franklin getting the start here tonight. Tomorrow, I would assume Logan Rosenberger will face the Cougars. First pitch, sidearm, cut on a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Jacob Franklin's basically been the number 2 pitcher the last 2 years for Coach Travis Free's Wildcats. Done a good job, good winning record for the Oak Ridge team. Here's the pitch outside. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach, I remember the days when Joey Weston was running the bases here at Bobby Hopkins Field, just tearing them up. But he's up here doing the PA tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike, hit on the ground to Jacob. He fields it. Runs 2 steps towards first, underhands it over to Bryce Ludwikowski, and that is out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down. The batter now will be the shortstop, Sharp. He'll be followed by Thomas, then Goins, Barry, Pierce, Hazelwood, and Dabney. The scheduled lineup for the Campbell County Cougars. District ball game. The Wildcats have 2 district games left tonight and tomorrow, and they'll close out their season with non-district ball games the rest of the way. Sidearm pitch just a little bit low, and the count is 1-0. Wildcats scoring 4 unearned runs in the top half of the first inning to take a 4-0 lead. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first. A little bit inside, 2 balls and no strikes the count. Wildcats wearing their traditional Cardinal jerseys with their white baseball pants with gray numerals. Campbell County in orange, gray, and blue. 2-0 pitch in there for a called strike on the inside half of the plate, and the count is 2-1. Parks with the sign. 2-1 pitch. Hit foul. Off to the outside portion of the park, out of play, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach, did you ever play baseball?
Well, I played at a young age. I played with actually boys club. I was never too good, but I never really got into it.
Well, that's too bad. It's a great sport there. Pitch is high there. 2 balls, actually 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eventually, we might get Mark Pinch back on the air with us. There's a strikeout swinging of Sharp, and that's 3 up and 3 down for Jacob Franklin. We go to the top half of the second inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. So far, so good if you're a Wildcat fan. 4-0 Wildcats. We'll be back to Bobby Hopkins in a moment.
So I know, yes, for the pitch runners, you want me to say, like, yeah, I'll be great. Thank you. Mark, don't mess up. Oh, you're hilarious. It's like, I know Branson wasn't here. I was like, music and I can't like, stop.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the second inning here. The Wildcats on top, 4-0. It'll be the number 9 hitter, Jason Slay, then back to the top of the order to Caden Black and Logan Rosenberger. That's the scheduled hitters and Coach Travis Free's lineup. The Wildcats, if you just tuned in, put 4 unearned runs on the board for the Wildcats. Only 2 hits in that inning. Campbell County committed 3 errors in the inning. Dabney on the hill, working his second inning, and the pitch to the plate is down low, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Jason Slay playing second base. He's been a second baseman for the Wildcats last year and this year as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Nobody on, nobody out here in the second inning, top of the second. Hit. Well, I thought he was going to swing. The pitch is a nice one on the inside half of the plate, and the count is 1-2. Mark, 4 unearned runs in the first inning.
Yeah, kind of expected it, honestly. No offense to Campbell County, but I don't really think they're that good as Slay fouls it off here. But yeah, just a couple unforced errors, really, on routine plays, and unfortunately, it's where we're at right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. Jason Slay, the batter. Caden Black on deck. He singled to open up the ball game. Hit on the ground, this shortstop this time. Lets it come to him. Going to have to throw hard, and does. Nice throw across the diamond for out number 1. So Slay is retired, and back to the top of the order we go to Caden Black. Caden singled up the middle in the first inning. If you just tuned in, this is the top of the second. Although we are at Bobby Hopkins Field in Oak Ridge, the Wildcats, this was a game that's scheduled for Campbell County, but something was, I guess, not right with their fields, so they're going to play both games here in Oak Ridge, as that pitch is a ball. Second inning here from Bobby Hopkins. Good job, Zach. Pitch is hit foul territory down the left field line and out of play. You know, Mark, I've been trying to get Joey and Zach to work for the Braves with me, but I've had very hard luck doing that. You'd think that would be something they'd like to do.
I don't know. Are you guys Braves fans? Joey says,
There's a base hit in the right field. A solid base knock for Caden. And Mark, he's 2 for 2 in the ballgame. That one, a solid rocket to right field.
Yeah, actually really got good contact there, as he's been working on it. I mean, for the most part, I feel like the entire team has been trying to work on getting hits to right field.
Batter now will be Logan Rosenberger. He grounded out to third, his first plate appearance. He is 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Caden had a stolen base back in the first inning. Scored the Wildcats' first run, obviously. Lights have been turned on here at Bobby Hopkins. It's a little chilly. Zach's wearing shorts. So is Joey. 1 out here. Caden takes a good lead off of first. Dabney throws over there again. Back in time goes Black. He had a stolen base. Reached second on a throwing error by the catcher. Came in to score the first run on the Caden Updegraff hit to shortstop. That was booted. Actually, Caden was hit by a pitch. Let me verify that. He scored on the Jacob Franklin grounder to short. 1 out here. Logan yet to receive a pitch from Dabney. 4-0 Wildcats. Here's Caden going. The pitch is way outside. Here's the throw down, and that's another stolen base. So the Wildcats, Caden Black with his second stolen base of the ball game, and that'll be stolen base number 3 for the Wildcats here in the early going. Right-handed hitter. Rosenberger stands in. McNaughton on deck. Ball's hit right back to the third baseman. He looks over towards the runner, and once again, Logan grounds out to third, and that is out number 2. Wildcats did all their scoring in the first inning with 2 outs. Let's see what they can do here with Alex McNaughton. Alex was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Wildcats with a runner in scoring position. Caden Black Dabney comes to the plate, runner going to third, and he throws it high, but that'll be another stolen base for Caden Black. So Caden has 3 stolen bases, and we're only in the second inning here. Pitch was high, and ball almost sailed into left field. They're very lucky. The third baseman's tall. He was able to pull down the high throw. Black off of third, the pitch. Hit well. Field line. Home run distance almost, and it's about 348 feet down the line in left field, which is bigger than most major league parks down the left field line, but well foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking pitch, cut on a miss, bounces away, but not far enough away from the catcher to allow Black to score, and the count is 1-2. Our regular public address announcer is James Branson. He's not here with us here tonight. Getting ready to be a father for the 3rd time. Maybe tonight. Who knows? Breaking pitch, cut on and foul tipped and not held on by the catcher. So Alex stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Oak Ridge and Campbell County again here tomorrow. That'll be Oak Ridge's home game. I know that's confusing. Campbell County has a really nice field, so I don't really know what's wrong with it up there, why they had to come down here today. I know we have had some rain, but this is officially their home ball game here at Bobby Hopkins Park. Bobby Hopkins, the former great Oak Ridge Wildcat, former Tennessee Vol, played on a College World Series team for the Vols way back before I was born. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Hits him in the back. That'll be the second Wildcat that's been hit by a pitch. And down the first will go Alex McNaughton. And here comes Caden Updegraff. Caden was hit by a pitch, scored the second run of the ball game. So the Wildcats have runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Caden will step in. As I mentioned, he was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and came in to score run number 2. RBI situation here for Caden. Let's see what Alex does. He's going on the pitch. Quick throw down the third, and back safely goes Black. And into second will go McNaughton. So the Wildcats with yet another stolen base. Pitcher doesn't throw hard. He's kind of slow to the plate. He's got a great breaking pitch. Now the Wildcats with 2 runners in scoring position. That pitch is high and inside. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 errors in the first allowed Oak Ridge to score 4 runs. The Wildcats hoping to get on the board here in the second. Here's the pitch to Caden, hit hard right up the middle. That's a solid single. 1 run in. Caden Black is run number 5. Here comes the throw in, cut off by the pitcher, and Alex McNaughton scores run number 6, and the Wildcats lead Campbell County 6-0 on the 2 RBI single by the soon-to-be West Point young man Caden Updegraff, and the Wildcats once again score a 2-out run. So nice piece of hitting there by Caden. And the batter now will be the pitcher, Jacob Franklin. Caden takes a short lead off of first. He's going again. Pitches outside. Here's the throw down to second, and there's another stolen base. The catcher kind of rears back and takes a lot of time, actually, to kind of get cocked to throw it, and they're kind of really just stealing on the pitcher. So the Wildcats, Mark, just running all over Campbell County here in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, I really wonder what the single game stolen base record is, and maybe we'll see it broken today as falls in there for a strike.
Yeah, I'd like to know that record too. It's Wildcats have put a lot of them on and over on stolen bases. I think it's 5 now. I'll count it up between innings here. Here's the pitch, bounce to the plate, nice stop by the catcher, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Did you know I played with the leader in stolen bases at Oak Ridge?
And who was that?
Logan Dean Williams.
Oh yeah, of course you did.
I believe he's in the. I think he's in the Army right now with the Rangers.
His brother play. There's another base hit to left field. Coming around third, Caden Updegraff. He gets the green light. The Wildcats now lead Campbell County by a score of 7-0. That is an RBI single. And the Wildcats, Caden Updegraff comes in to score, and Oak Ridge now leads the Cougars by a score of 7-0. Bryce Lebowkowski is, as Wildcats are going to get a pinch runner into the ball game.
I want to see how you react, but don't say those. It's like, I want to see how you react.
I believe that's Riley Rehill running at first for the Wildcats. Ludwig, he's going. The pitch is low, and he's not even going to throw this time. And Rehill has a, well, I'm not going to call it indifference. There was no way he was going to get him, so he didn't throw. I'm going to give him another stolen base because I want this total to continue to rise here. As another runner in scoring position, 3 runs in. The pitch hit hard but foul down the left field line and out of play, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. So, Zach, I heard Joey say he was a Braves fan. You are a Dirty Mets fan.
Yes, I am. Mom was actually raised up more north, so I developed some of that, but been a Mets fan for quite some time.
Ball hit to the third baseman. The throw across the diamond is high and safe. He did not hold the bag. That's absolutely a horrendous call. He didn't even have the bag. Did not have the bag at all. The video will show that he did not have the bag at all. And they're going to call him. There's no replay in high school baseball, but we've got replay up here if he wants to see it. He didn't hold the bag at all. And that's going to be officially out number 3.
You know, I think
he's gonna ask the home plate umpire, and maybe they'll change it.
Yeah, I think that's what he's definitely gonna do, and it's definitely a worthwhile call because the home plate umpire definitely had a good view of that. So
they're talking it over down there. The video will show later that he did not hold the bag. We'll see what these guys decide to do. He's going to call the Campbell County coach out, and the discussion will be, I think, the Wildcats will get back on the field on base, and Campbell County will have to go back out there. He didn't hold the bag for sure. There's no way in the world he held the bag. Hopefully the video from Zach Dorman, if he got the shot, will show that he didn't hold the bag. I haven't heard the official word. Now in the major leagues, when they have a review, they get on the mic and they tell us all. But I don't think we have a review here. We can back up Zach's video here, and we can have an official review, and they are going to bring Campbell County back out on the field. So good job of umpiring, honestly, Mark, because they got together and they got it right.
Yeah, I'm actually interested because sometimes this doesn't happen with 3-man umpiring crews, but you don't usually see that a whole bunch. But yeah, definitely the correct call had to be made, and I think the Campbell County coach is going to argue all he wants, but I think even he knows he was safe.
Yeah, the throw just kind of led him. He caught it, and then he tried to get his toe back on the bag. By that time, Bryce had already reached the bag, and the Wildcats have runners on the corners with Rehill down at third. So back out on the field goes Campbell County. Wildcats have put 3 on the board here. They lead it 7-0. And a little catch between the shortstop and pitcher there. Kind of warm him up because he had come off the mound, went into the dugout, and he's giving a little bit more of a warm-up toss. So that's good job there, too, by the umpire crew to allow the Campbell County pitcher to warm up and allow the catcher to get his gear back on. Never was a catcher, but I know it's very timely. It takes a while to put that stuff back on. Gets a pat on the back from the home plate umpire, and good job. Batter now will be Truett Tex once again. Truett had an RBI single back in the first inning. The Wildcats scored 4 in the first, 3 here in the second. And they've got runners on the corners with 2 outs here. Truett, as I mentioned, had an RBI single in the first, and ball bounces at the plate, and down the second will go Lebowkowski. So the Wildcats have a couple more runners in scoring position. 7-0 is our score. Wildcats in the lead. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Breaking pitch bounces all the way back to the plate, and that's going to plate another run. And in the score will come Riley Rehill, and the Wildcats have another run as Oak Ridge now leads it by a score of 8-0. And down the third will go Ludwikowski. So the Wildcats with 4 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second to lead it 8-0. Truitex back in, 2 balls and no strikes on him. Outside a ball, 3 balls and no strikes. Truitt stands in. He'll be followed by catcher Bryson Parks, who hasn't taken off his shin guards. He's a catcher for the Wildcats. Here's the 3-0 pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. And the count is 3-1. It was inside. That's the old automatic sometimes they call with a 3-0 count. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch hit foul over towards catcher Bryson Parks. And the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lebowkowski takes his lead off of third. The pitch to Truitt is way outside, and that is ball 4. So down the first goes Truitt. 8-0 Wildcats here as they play here in the second inning. Here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We appreciate you watching our broadcast here. And the batter now will be the catcher, Bryson Parks. Bryson 0 for 1 in the ball game. The senior flew out to center field to close out the first inning. Short lead by Truitt at first. I don't think he'll be going. The pitch is hit in the gap in the right center field. That's going to get down for another hit. In the score will come Lebowkowski. Chugging down to third will go Truitt Tex, and that is an RBI single by Bryson Parks, and the Wildcats lead Campbell County 9-0. We're going to have a courtesy runner in the ball game for the catcher, Bryson Parks. All this after Campbell County thought they were done with this inning. The Wildcats will get another runner into the ball game, and that'll be David Jackson. Right-handed hitter, stands in. That's Jason Slay. Grounded out to short to open up this inning. So the Wildcats have batted around here in the second inning. A little pitch out. Not a bad play as the Wildcats have been going on about the first pitch throughout the course of the first part of the ball game. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Runner going. Here's the throw down. He throws it away, and in will come the Wildcats to score another one. And Truitt Tex comes in to score. And the Wildcats now lead it 10-0. No. Oh, it says Oak Ridge. Wildcats on top 10-0. We're going to change the scoreboard here. Little confusion here since we are the visitors team on our home field. Zach, a little bit confused there, but that's okay. He's not used to doing the periods anyway. For whatever reason, we haven't been able to change. We haven't figured out how to change it from periods to innings on our scoreboard. Baseball, there are innings, obviously. Wildcats have put 6 on the board, and there's a walk, and Jason Slay heads down to first. The Wildcats still have Jackson down at third for the Wildcats, and the batter will be Caden Black. Caden has 2 hits in the ball game. He has a hit in this inning. He has a hit in the first inning, so he is 2 for 2 in the ball game. Has 3 stolen bases to his credit. Long top of the second inning here for Campbell County. District ball game here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Good lead over at first for Slay. Short lead for Jackson at third. The pitch to Black. Breaking pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. No balls, one strike. Black, the left-handed hitting sophomore, swings and hits it in the left field. That's going to get down for another base hit. Caden 3 for 3 in the ball game. He's got 2 hits this inning, and the Wildcats score yet another run. In to score will come Jackson, and down the second will go Slay. It's another RBI for Caden Black, and the Wildcats lead Campbell County now by a score of 11-0. And the batter now will be Logan Rosenberger. Logan, honestly, the only person in the lineup to this point has yet to reach base. He's 0 for 2, a couple ground outs to the third baseman. Let's see if we can get him into the action here. 7 runs in. Oak Ridge on top, 11-0. Runners at first and second. The pitch to Logan, his breaking pitch bounces away all the way back to the screen. So down the third will go Slay. Down the second will go Black. So 2 more runners in scoring position. Been a long 2 innings for the poor Campbell County pitcher Dabney, and it might be the end of the road for Dabney as the coach for Campbell County is out to talk to him. 11-0 Wildcats. We're on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. We appreciate you watching our broadcast. We've done a few of these this year. Hope to do a few more. Of course, myself, Zach, and Joey work for the Braves, so we can't do as many ball games as we'd like to do. But when the Braves are out of town, we're up here doing the ball games. I like putting pressure on these 2 guys. They've helped in basketball season. Zach's older brother, what was his name again? Stu. Oh, yeah, Stewie. Stuart Dorman also helped for about 4 years in football, basketball. I don't think he ever helped in baseball. 11-0. Same with Dabney here, the Wildcats. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The pitch is bounced in the plate again, and another run will score. Poor catcher's having a rough day. And in to score will come Jason Slay. And the Wildcats now lead it 12-0 over the Campbell County Cougars. And Logan Rosenberger has a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Like I said, I'd like to see Logan get on base here. So far, he is the only Wildcat who has yet to reach base in this game. A couple ground outs to third base. 12-0 Wildcats. And the pitch. Hit well to deep left. Left fielder back on it. Still going back all the way towards the wall. He can't make the play. In the score will come Caden Black. Rounding second and heading to third is Logan Rosenberger. Here's the throw, the slide. He is safe. Triple for Rosenberger, another RBI, and the Wildcats now lead it by a score of 13-0 over the Campbell County Cougars. And that's going to be the end of the night for Dabney. I thought it was going to be a moment ago. That ball was hit well, just kept going and going and going back. Stayed in the park, but couldn't quite catch up to it. And that's going to be the end of the road for Dabney. We're going to have a pitching change here. We are on our Prep Radio channel. Oak Ridge on top of the Campbell County Cougars in District 3 baseball action, 13-0. We'll be back to talk about this pitching change in a moment. David Clary back here along with Zach Dorman, Joey Weston, Mark Pinchback. Mark, you and I were talking in the break here. Right now it's 13-0 Wildcats. In high school ball, you've got a slaughter rule, a run rule. If you're up by 10 after 5 and might get out of here quickly, but this one's really slow because so many runs have scored already.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, earlier you said the catcher's having a bad day. I think the pitcher was having not the best time. His stuff was good in the first inning, but just kind of heading into this one, it didn't really work. And if all they really need to do, and Coach Free preaches this a lot, is just throw strikes, and it'll get you out of games. Either they'll hit it into play or you'll get strikeouts. But if you can't throw strikes, this stuff happens.
Got a pitching change. We don't have a complete roster here. We only have their last names, and we don't even have their numbers. So Joey has gone down to get an official roster for the Campbell County Cougars. There's a carpenter bee flying in here, but these two guys are afraid of a bee that doesn't even have a stinger. Just a carpenter bee here. Alex McNaughton's going to stand in. Mark says he fears the bees. Upperman is the bees. Have you ever played Upperman in high school baseball? Upperman, they're the bees. Upperman bees. It's a high school. Never mind. Here comes Alex McNaughton. The pitch to him is outside the ball. 1 ball, no strikes. The Wildcats have Logan Rosenberger. Everybody on the team has reached base now. Everybody on the team except Logan has, well, that's not true. The pitcher and the catcher have not scored. We've had courtesy runners for them, but every position on the field is scored for the Wildcats except Logan Rosenberger. And he's at third with an opportunity to score a run for the Wildcats, but we'll see what Alex McNaughton can do here. He's got a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Alex been on base, scored a run, hits the ball foul up the first base line. Hit by a pitch, his last plate appearance this inning. Last inning was a strikeout victim, so he's officially 0 for 1 in the ballgame. 13-0 Oak Ridge. Logan Rosenberger at third. The Wildcats have put 9 on the board here in the second inning to lead the Cougars. 1-2 pitch to Alex. Low a ball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not a bad turnout of fans here. A few students in the crowd here. Some Lady Wildcats off of the basketball team in attendance here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, hit on the ground. Up the middle, there's another base hit. Alex McNaughton has an RBI single. And, it's one of those games where Campbell County, although giving an effort here, they now trail 14-0, and every single position, 1 through 9, has scored at least a run for the Wildcats. 11 runs here in the second inning, 4 in the first. McNaughton takes his lead. The pitch almost hit him. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to Caden Updegraff. Caden had a 2 RBI single earlier this inning, was hit by a pitch, and he has scored 2 runs for the Wildcats. Alex is short lead. I wouldn't expect him to go with the score at 14-0. Cut on and missed, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ridge and Campbell County been in the same district since the mid-70s. Campbell County Comprehensive High School, and 3 cities up there. Is the pitch to Caden, bounces away, but I think we're playing station-to-station ball, and you don't want to rub it in on a district opponent, a team you're going to play again tomorrow. So Alex stays right where he is. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, Joey would have gone. He would have taken off towards second right there last year when he was a Wildcat baseballer. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 11 runs in for the Wildcat, or 10 runs in it. Caden's hitting the head. Second time in the ballgame, he's been hit by a pitch. 3rd Wildcat to be hit. So the Wildcats will have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And he's tough. He's going to West Point. He can take one in the noggin, and he did. Caden the base runner, Caden Updegraff the runner at first, down at second. for the Wildcats. Alex McNaughton. The batter is Jacob Franklin. Jacob had an RBI single this inning, and let's see, he also reached on that error by the shortstop in the first. Pitches a ball, 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Mark, you're feeling pretty good as a pitcher when you've got a 14-0 lead in the second inning.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, honestly, I do play baseball video games. When I get in the situation in video games, I literally just stop caring and just throw it as best I can in the strike zone as there is a strike there. But yeah, if you have a 14-0 lead, you kind of just, or in my opinion, I would just, not really care too much and just throw it down the middle.
I'm guessing the strike zone's going to get a little bit wider too here.
Oh, definitely.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on for the Wildcats, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Inside again, 2 balls and 1 strike, the count. Wildcats threatening to bat around twice in the same inning here. Got a little ways to go before that. Jacob Franklin, his second plate appearance this inning. Pitch. Like I said, the strike zone is going to get wide here. It was inside, but it's 14-0. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got to be swinging here, Jacob. Wherever it is, it's going to be a strike. 2-2 pitch, hit on the ground. Second baseman feels it, fumbles it, can't pick it up, and all hands are safe. Bases loaded. The ball was a grounder right to the second baseman. He fielded it okay, and then just never was able to pick it up. So Jacob Franklin reaches, and that'll be the 4th error of the ball game for the Cougars. And the bases are loaded. And Riley Rehill's going to run again for Jacob Franklin. He's scored a run this inning, Rehill has. And he's retreaded out there to second base as a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Jacob Franklin. And the batter now will be Bryce Ledbukowski. Bases loaded for the Wildcats. They lead it 14-0. The pitch to Bryce is a call strike. Really nice looking pitch there. Reached on an error in the first part of this inning. He's actually been on base twice because of errors. 1 strike pitch to Bryce. Low and inside. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamison Updegraff in the house here. Brother of Caden Updegraff, the soon-to-be West Point guy. He's in the house. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Bases loaded. The pitch. Hit foul. Now to play over to the right side. Oak Ridge on top, 14-0 as they bat here in the top of the second inning. I don't believe he's going to play baseball, Mark. I think he's just going to go serve his nation proudly at the Military Academy in West Point, New York. Ball's hit softly on the infield. That's going to be an infield single, and another run will score. So give an RBI to Bryce. In the score of this run is, I guess that was Alex McNaughton. Down the third, Caden Updegraff. Jacob Franklin's runner, Rehill, is at second. And bases remain loaded, and the batter will be the designated hitter, Truett Tex. Bases loaded. He's the DH, junior Wildcat, member of the Oak Ridge football team as well. The pitch is a called strike. Nice pitch there at the knees, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. 11 runs have scored here in the second. It's 15-0 Oak Ridge over Campbell County. Pitch, a little bit low. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Dorman, the Dirty Mets fan, is doing our camera work here. Joey Weston, the classy, very intelligent, good-looking Braves fan, is doing the PA as the ball is hit foul back to the screen.
So what do you
notice the difference, Zach?
Yes, I do. But in the end, Mets are better, and that's just how it goes.
All I know is the last team to win the World Series between the two teams was the Atlanta Braves, and that was less than a year ago. So Mets, I don't even remember. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Hit foul. Once again off the screen.
So, David, what do you think about the Diamondbacks?
I actually like the Diamondbacks jerseys. I went to Arizona in December and saw the stadium. Actually, I like their jerseys. Actually, that's about the only thing I really have an opinion about. Bases loaded, the pitch to Truitt is hit in the air softly. Pitcher should make the catch, and he does for out number 3. So finally, the inning comes to a close. The Wildcats score 11 runs. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field, and the Wildcats of Oak Ridge lead it by a score of 15-0. We'll be back on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment.
Batting for the Cougars, Todd Thomas.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Been a long time since Jacob Franklin threw a pitch. It was a very long top half of the second. He retired the Cougars in order in the first inning. 1, 2, 3. He'll be facing Thomas, Goins, and Berry, the scheduled Campbell County hitters. The ball is hit over the pitcher's head. It's going to be a bang-bang play. Here's Slater first in time for out number 1. The ball, once it got over the top of Jacob's head, I thought it was going to be closer than it actually was. Jason was able to come up on it quickly and throw out Thomas for out number 1. The batter now will be the catcher, Goins. Plays basketball for them. Pitch cut on and missed. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Berry will follow. He's the right fielder for Campbell County. Sidearm pitch from Jacob Franklin in there for a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. He retired the Cougars in order, 1, 2, 3 in the first. A couple strikeouts to his credit. He's got a man down here in the bottom half of the second. 2-strike pitch. Here it comes. Hit him in the back of the leg, and that is the first base runner of the night for Campbell County. And down the first he goes, and the batter will be Berry, the right fielder. One out here, runner at first. Jacob Franklin facing Berry, number 6 hitter in the Campbell County lineup. Pitch hit foul at the plate, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. One out here. Wildcats on top of the Cougars, 15-0. We're streaming this game live on our Prep Radio channel on YouTube. Runner at first takes his lead, bouncing away. Ball is hit right back to the pitcher. He makes the near catch, hit him, and they're going to call a double play. They're going to say he is out on the transfer, I guess. Then they double the runner off of second. So hit him in the glove, and I guess, Mark, they're going to say it was on the transfer that he made the out, and that is out number 3. So that is a double play, and the Cougars are retired here in the second. We go to the top of the third inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Oak Ridge on top of Campbell County, 15-0. We'll be back in a moment. David Clary back here along with Zach Dorman. We go to the top of the third inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats in the lead by a score of 15-0 as we broadcast here from the great facility here, the nearly 70-year-old plus facility here at Bobby Hopkins Field. One time there was only one park here. Now it's a baseball complex. There's the Kevin Callia Field right behind us here. Gray Strang down on the lower field, right below the field, on the Walmart side of this field. And the Oak Ridge Lady Wildcat softball home field is here as well. They play all their home games here at the Bobby Hopkins Park. Wildcats up 15-0. They scored 11 in the second. They scored 4 in the first. 4 Campbell County errors have also hurt them. And the Wildcats have hit the ball well. Every place on the Oak Ridge order has scored a run. And the batter now for the Wildcats, leading things off, will be the catcher. That is Bryson Parks. Bryson had an RBI single, and his runner scored a run, flew out to second in the first inning. He is 1-for-2 in the ballgame. Pitch to the plate is on the inside corner for a called strike. Nobody out, nobody aboard for the Wildcats. Parks leading things off. And the 1-strike pitch. Down low a ball, evens the count at 1-1 strike. Jason Slay is the scheduled hitter for the Wildcats. Then back to the top of the order to Caden Black. Caden's 3 for 3 in the ballgame. Has scored 3 runs, has stolen a ton of bases. Inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1-2 strikes. Bryson stands back in. The 1-2 pitch. Way outside, evens the count at 2-2 strikes. 15-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats trying to win their 5th district game of the year. Wildcats split with West, split with Central, swept Carnes. Got swept by Powell as that pitch is hit on the ground into left field. That's a base hit for Bryson Parks. So that is another hit for the Wildcat catcher, and he's on base with nobody out, and the batter will be Jason Slade. Jason had a base hit back in the second inning. He officially in the ball game is 1 for 2. He also grounded out to short in the second as well. Runner takes his lead off of first. Another courtesy runner out there for the Wildcats. Here's the pitch. Called a strike on the corner, outside corner. The count is no balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch to the plate. Down low a ball. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. As I mentioned, this is Bobby Hopkins, home of the Wildcats, but this is Campbell County's home ball game. On the scoreboard, they are the home team. Wildcats are up 15-0 here. They'll play again tomorrow. Pitch way outside. That was in the left-handed batter's box, but like I said, it's 15-0, so the strike zone's going to expand just a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. That one's high. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You basically got to go up there hacking because anything close is going to be a strike. Runner first for the Wildcats. Nobody out. 15-0. Oak Ridge in the lead. The wind, the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And as I said, anything close, you got to be hacking at it, or he's going to call it, and that is out number 1. Back to the top of the order we go. Actually, we've got a pinch hitter. It looks like Colin James is going to bat for the Wildcats. Colin James getting his first plate appearance of the day. He's hitting for Caden Black, who was 3 for 3 in the ball game. Colin playing his first year of Oak Ridge High School baseball. I guess he played as a youth. Had him on the TV show a couple of weeks ago. Kind of an entertaining interview with him. He's played a variety of sports, including basketball and football in his time at Oak Ridge, and decided to come out his senior year to play baseball. And he's getting it at bat here against Campbell County. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first. 1 out here. 15-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats bat in the third. Colin hits it foul. Out of play off to the right side. Getting a lot of encouragement from his teammates down in the dugout to our left. Home of the Wildcats here at Bobby Hopkins. Colin stands back in. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch, cut on a missed. Fastball at the belt, and the count is 1-2. Looks like Marty G. Well, let's see. Is that Marty G. about to bat here for the Wildcats? Perhaps. Here's the 1-2 pitch, cut on a miss, and that is a strikeout of Colin James, and that is out number 2, and the Wildcats will bat, and not sure who that is on my roster. Help me out, Mark. Right-handed hitter. Try to get his name for you here in a bit. It doesn't appear on our official roster here. It should be at the bottom of the page there. And he is hit by a pitch. So welcome to the game. As down the first for the Wildcats, we'll go, well, it's not on the list here, number 15. So we don't have a complete roster here. Hopefully, Mr. Ben Peters can tell us who he is. Now here comes Marty. Marty G will be the batter. And Marty played a little football back in his freshman year. He was a kicker. He's also a big rock star, I think. Has his own band, I believe. Soltis, I believe it is. I think that's the name of it. He and Grayson Strader, I think, also in that band. See Grayson in attendance here today. Pitch goes all the way back to the screen. Runners at second and third. 2 outs, though. Let's see what Marty can do here. He's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Coach Free getting a lot of players in a 15-0 game. Let's see what Marty can do. Got a nice little stance. Here's the pitch, low, and the count on the scoreboard, 2 balls and no strikes. Couple runners on for the Wildcats. There are 2 outs. They're both in scoring position. Marty stands back in, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch, hits him. And down the first will go Marty. So the Wildcats will have the bases loaded. And yet another Wildcat been hit by a pitch. He's the 4th or 5th guy has been hit by a pitch, and this guy batting, Caden Updegraff's been hit twice in the ball game. So eventually every Wildcat's going to be hit tonight the way that's rolling right now. The Wildcats are going to see another pitching change, and looks like we're going to see who's going to come in to pitch. Campbell County making a pitching change, and Wildcats yet to score here. A couple strikeouts, though, in the inning for the relief pitcher for the Cougars, and we'll have a pitching change, and we'll come back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We're in the top of the 3rd inning, and we're just zipping along here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats have the bases loaded again. Wildcats have had the bases loaded 6 different times in the ball game. Wildcats have scored in every inning so far except this game. Wildcats scored 4 in the first, 11 runs in the 2nd inning. They have the bases loaded here. And the batter will be Caden Updegraff. Caden has been hit by a pitch twice and has a 2 RBI single as well. So he's officially 1 for 1 in the ball game. Joey, who is that? Jackson Anderson, sophomore. So we apologize we didn't have his name. Jackson Anderson. He's the base runner for the Wildcats. Or he came in, reached base, was hit by a pitch. New pitcher for the Cougars, throwing breaking pitches there. Sporting a pretty healthy beard there. Joey, have you ever had a beard? A beard, yeah. Looking at the pitcher. Joey says he wishes he could grow one like that, but so far he has not sported one. Of course, he's only a junior in high school, so you have plenty of time. He's a hockey player. You got to look tough as a hockey player. You got to be missing a few teeth as well. Here comes Caden Updegraff, the Wildcats. I mentioned he's been hit by a pitch twice, and he singled in 2 in another plate appearance. Bases loaded for the Wildcats here. 15-0 the score. The pitch bounces away, but no runs are going to score. The Wildcats, you don't want to embarrass the district opponent, a team that you're going to play tomorrow, because, you know, tomorrow's a totally different game, totally different day. And you don't want to embarrass them. Zach quickly got his coat. He's warmer now. 1-0 pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. On the inside corner of the right-handed hitter's batter's box, not of the plate, but it's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. 1-1 pitch. High and inside with the fastball. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Marty G's your base runner down at first base. Looks like we've got Jackson Anderson at second, and we also have a runner down at third, another courtesy runner. I guess that's Rehill down there. Ball's hit foul, out of play. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oak Ridge on top, 15-0. Campbell County trying to get out of an inning without allowing a run, and they are, as Caden Updegraff is going to be called out for strike number 3. Wildcats load the bases, and they leave them loaded. We go to the bottom half of the third inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, on our Prep Radio channel on YouTube. Oak Ridge on top of Campbell County, 15-0. We go to the bottom of the third. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Jacob Franklin still on the hill. He has faced the minimum to this point for the Wildcats. He got a double play to close out the second inning. And it'll be the number 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the lineup here for Campbell County. Leading things off for them on my scoreboard. They've had various changes, and we don't have an official complete roster up here. And the batter, I believe, will be Josh Pierce. And he stands in. He's a right-handed hitter. Playing second base for the Campbell County Cougars. Campbell County had an excellent basketball season this year. Very competitive in football the last several years. And I think I read earlier this year they had a big win over the Clinton Dragons in baseball. Anybody that beats Clinton, they get the okay from me, as that pitch is cut on and missed, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. I say that respectfully for any Clinton people who might be tuning into our broadcast, either live or on YouTube later. 0-2 pitch from Jacob, hit up the third base line, but foul, and the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Zach, you going to play soccer this year?
Well, I'm thinking about it. It's been a long recovery since this ACL injury, so we're just going to see how it goes, bouncing back into it, and I'll see how I feel.
Breaking pitch stays up high. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, Ronald Acuna Jr. returns tonight to play for the Gwinnett Stripers in a rehab assignment after his ACL injury. There's a cut on and miss and a swinging strikeout, and that is strikeout number 3 for Jacob Franklin. And the batter, Hazelwood, will be the batter. He's the designated hitter today for the left fielder. Number 8 hitter in the Cougar lineup here. Franklin hits him, and that is the second Cougar to be hit by a pitch. Goins was hit by a pitch in the second inning. I think we've had 7 or 8 hit by a pitch. And it's kind of cool here. Wind is blowing out towards right field. It's kind of chilly. We were discussing during the break just how cold this April has been. I've always said that Bobby Hopkins Field is the coldest place on earth during baseball season, as that pitch is a called strike to the starting pitcher, Dabney, and he's behind in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Franklin checks the runner, cut on and missed. And a fake throw down to first by Parks. Runner scampers back to the bag at first. No balls and 2 strikes to Dabney. Jacob checks the runner. Very short lead at first. Jacob from the stretch comes to the plate. Hit on the ground. Right back to him. Might have a double play again. There's one. Here's the throw back. Not in time. The out is recorded at second. The force out. The lead man is retired. And Dabney is on base on the fielder's choice. But there's 2 outs now. And the batter, the top of the order we go to Ferguson, the center fielder. He was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. He struck out looking. 15-0 Oak Ridge, if you just tuned in. Runner at first, 2 outs. Bounce to the plate. Count is 1 ball, no strikes. Zach Dorman doing our camera work here today. Joey's with us in spirit. He's doing the PA. Mark Pinchback has provided a little commentary, not a whole lot today. He talked more the last time. He's having to do the scoreboard down there.
And the music.
And the music, so you're kind of busy. And here's the pitch. There's a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Not as busy as Joey and Zach will be in Atlanta this summer, though. I mean, they're going to be so busy supporting and working for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. There's a called strike, and the count is 1-2. So what's your reasoning here, Zach? Why don't you want to work for the Braves?
Well, I already talked to one of my friends' dads, and he had a summer job lined up for us, and I'd hate to, tell him that I'd have to reject that offer. It'd be tough, but maybe there's a way to work in both jobs. That'd be probably the best scenario if possible.
I put him on the spot, and I got an answer from him here. Count is foul. Back to the screen. The count is 1-2. Joey, what's your reasoning here? Let's get his microphone over here.
Where Zach's going, I'll probably go. So, I mean, this is really on Zach. Yeah. You got to talk to him, David.
Pitch is outside, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 15-0 the score. Not a whole lot to talk about here. Just Wildcats have hit the ball well. They've fielded their position. Jacobs pitched well to this point. And the Wildcats have been the beneficiaries of several errors, too. There's called strike 3, and that is out number 3. And the second time tonight that Ferguson has been caught looking. So the Cougars put a base runner on for the second consecutive inning. They strand him. We go to the top half of the 4th inning. Here at Bobby Hopkins Field, Wildcats on top by a score of 15-0. We're on your YouTube channel, Prep Radio, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We appreciate you watching our game on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We haven't done as many games as we did last year because of mine and Joey's schedule in Atlanta. We just haven't really been able to do as many ball games. But we're glad to be here broadcasting this one. Allen pitching for Campbell County, and we've got a new hitter coming in for the Wildcats. And that's Riley Rehill, right? He's been a runner here a couple times in the game. And Rehill is going to, or Jacob's going to re-enter, I would assume, as Riley Rehill will stand in for the Wildcats. First plate appearance of the night here. I see Brian Leffler, trainer for the Wildcats. Been a little bit under the weather, but he's back at work. He's shed a few pounds, but he could have used it. Just kidding, Brian. There's a called strike to Riley, and the count is no balls and one strike. Wildcats getting a chance to play a few people here tonight. Here's the pitch, hit right back to the pitcher, and that is out number one. Ball was hit pretty well, but out. One out here, and the batter now for the Wildcats will be number 14, David Jackson. David Jackson stands in. I think this is his second plate appearance. Maybe I'm wrong here. I know he's run. I don't know if he's batted or not. It's kind of, and that pitch sails all the way in the air, all the way back to the screen. Had Joey ducking as it came back to the screen here. Count is 1 ball and no strikes.
Almost a strike there.
Almost. 1-0 pitch. That one's outside and low. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. 15-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats bat here in the top of the 4th inning. This is Campbell County's officially, it's their home game, although we're at Bobby Hopkins. Pitch is outside, way outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about this pitcher is he's got a lot of movement, but he doesn't have a whole bunch of accuracy.
Here's the pitch. That's low, and that's ball 4. I think Jackson, he wasn't sure what it was, and he stood there a bit, and down the first he goes. And here's Izzy Mitchell to bat. Izzy going to get to bat for the first time today. He's played left field the whole ball game, but he's been the guy being hit for by Truett Tex. 1 out here. Izzy is the batter, right-handed hitter. We've played a lot of people here in this one. Breaking pitch is way up high. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Wildcats scored 4 in the first, 11 in the second. They were shut out in the third. They're batting here in the 4th. Pitch is way outside, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. One thing that about Zach Dorman, he's not afraid to eat. That guy likes to eat. He's been at the concession stand as Izzy takes a strike, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. His brother and I have a word for him. I won't mention it on the air right here. That would be it. That pitch is all the way back to the screen, kind of lost his grip, I guess, because it went all the way behind the back of Izzy Mitchell. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner at first for the Wildcats. That's Jackson. 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch called a strike, and the count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tomorrow, the Wildcats will play Campbell County again. It'll be Oak Ridge's official home ball game. 3-2 pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. That's kind of tough. Guy never gets in at bat. And he gets called out on the strike. The Wildcats are trying to play as many people as possible as Price Palmer comes up for the Wildcats. Price batting. This is the 4th different batter in the lineup here in the 4th inning. Palmer, right-handed hitter, runner at first. Nobody has scored in the last 2 innings as Palmer swings and he misses an outside pitch, and the count, I believe, is no balls and 1 strike, maybe 2 strikes. Mark a little slow on the trigger finger on the scoreboard. 0-2 pitch. You got to swing, and that's a strikeout. He's gonna call him, and that is out number 3. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Jacob Franklin, let's see if he comes back out on the hill for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge on top of Campbell County, 15-0. We are on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. We've got 35 viewers right now. We appreciate all of you. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Looks like Caden Updegraff is going to take over on the hill. Alex Franklin is taking over at second. Riley Rehill is in the outfield and right field. Looks like Parks is still behind the plate. Rosenberger is still at third. Looks like Caden Black still at short. Lebowkowski still at first, and Izzy is still in right. Caden came to Oak Ridge 2 or 3 years ago as a sophomore. Told Coach Free he was a catcher. And until, I guess, the Powell ball game or right before it, he had not played a single inning at catcher for the Wildcats. And this is my first look at Caden Updegraff on the hill for the Wildcats.
So,
he, of course, stand out.
In the Oliver Springs game, he did come in to pitch, and he actually did really, really well, throwing a lot of strikes and getting a lot of people out.
Well, good. Here's a called strike at the belt, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Caden, a standout basketball player, along with his twin brother Jameson, who I think found it to be – no, he's still here. I was about to say I thought maybe he thought it was too cold, but he's still here. Oh, Caden hits him. Well, you know, Caden's been hit twice in the ball game, so he's getting his revenge on the Cougars here.
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure that was the motive there, but it could potentially be. But, yeah, after that Oliver Springs game, or I think it was Oliver Springs, Coach Free said Caden's going to get more opportunities to pitch, and here he is now. That's
good. Senior member of the Wildcats announced today he's going to go to West Point. And once again, congratulations goes out to him. 15-0 Oak Ridge. The Cougars batting here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Right-handed hitter. Updegraff checks the runner at first, a very short lead. The senior comes to the plate, hit well into center field. That's a solid base hit. So they've got runners, and that's the first hit of the ball game for the Cougars. And it comes in the 4th inning off of Caden Updegraff. And the batter now will be Thomas, I believe. Joey, did you say his name is Thomas? Caleb Muncie is the batter. Right-handed hitter. Pitch to the plate is high. 1 ball, no strikes to count. We're in the 4th inning, 15-0 Oak Ridge, District 3 action here from Bobby Hopkins Field. The sun's setting here. Caden comes to the plate. It's high. Swung on, miss, though, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cougars have their first scoring threat of the night. The first time tonight they've had 2 on. That was their first hit just a moment ago. Their other 2 runners reached by being hit by pitches. 3 hit batsmen by the Wildcats staff. That pitch by Caden bounces at the plate, and the count is 2-1. Lebowkowski plays a little bit in on the grass. Logan, not quite even, a little less than even with the bag. Caden comes to the plate, cut on a missed, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Caden's helped me on the air before, broadcasting basketball on the girls' side of things back when, I guess, his sophomore year. His co-host of the TV show, and he's got a strikeout there. That is strikeout number 1 for Caden Updegraff. And the batter will be Goins, number 24. He is the catcher for the Cougars. 15-0. Oak Ridge 1 out now. Cougars still with runners at first and second.
I think that's the first strikeout for Caden in his career.
Mark thinks that's the first strikeout for Caden in his career as the Wildcats. He's played a variety of positions. He has played third, he's played second, he's played right, he's played left, and he's caught, and he's probably played a little center. I don't remember, but he's pitching for the Wildcats here. Played basketball for Oak Ridge, as I mentioned. Had a really, really fine senior year this year. Coming off of, had a little knee injury a couple years ago. Kind of been hobbled in basketball a bit. His brother Jameson, the alpha of the two, kind of had a really, really nice career. Both of them played great ball this year for the Wildcats. Coach Aaron Green. That pitch is outside. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Zach still eating. Here's the pitch. It's high and inside. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Your brother and I have talked about this a lot here. I'm not going to use that word, but you said it. 3-1 pitch. Cut on a miss. That makes the count full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like the Lady Wildcat basketball team. Some of them still in attendance here. This high school baseball game. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Right down Peachtree, as we say. Joey in Atlanta. And that is a strikeout looking. That's the second strikeout looking for Caden Updegraff. And that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Got a lefty batting here. They've got runners at first and second. 15-0 Wildcats. District 3 action here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Called a strike there. Updegraff has hit a batter, has given up a single. They're still out there, first and second. No runs have scored for the Cougars to this point. 1 strike the count. Cut on and foul tipped into the mid of Bryson Parks, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Travis Free is the head coach of the Wildcats. I believe this is 5th year as the head coach of the Wildcats. Close to it, 4 or 5. Done a good job. 0-2 pitch, that's high and outside, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Took over for Mark Garrison, who took over for Tom Froning, who took over from Nelson Glover, who took over from Jack Crouch, who took over from Jerry Lynn, who took over from, Rick Evans, who took over from Buddy Pope. That's a lot of coaches, and I just rattled them all off there. That's yeah, I know a lot of trivia. It doesn't really make me any money, but I know things like that. That pitch is high, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. $38,000, right? We'll go with that. Here's 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4, way outside, and the bases are loaded. So, first walk of the game for either Franklin or Updegraff. They've hit batters. They haven't walked them, I don't believe. I don't remember anyway. And they've got the bases loaded. Big scoring opportunity here for the Cougars. 2 outs, though. Let's see what they can do. Pitch, cut on and missed. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here, bases loaded for Campbell County. They trail Oak Ridge 15-0 here in the 4th inning. Runners take their lead, short lead at third, big lead at second. Nobody holding on the runner at first, and there's a swinging strike and a high inside pitch. And Caden's ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Zach Dorman with us here. Joey Weston, Mark Pinchback. Mark Haste helped with our setup earlier. I thought he was going to ring him up right there. If it had been our batters, he'd have rung him up. but we're up 15-0. Pitch was outside, and the count is 1-2 strikes. I'm not picking on the umpire. I understand. It's 15-0. Here's the pitch. There's a strikeout. So Caden Updegraff strikes out the side. The Cougars load the bases, but they leave them loaded. We go to the top half of the fifth inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Oak Ridge on top of the Cougars, 15-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the top half of the fifth inning. This is the Cougars' home game, even though it is at Oak Ridge. So the Cougars will get the last at bat here in the fifth, so it's not over. Regardless what happens this inning, the Wildcats will start. Looks like Alex Franklin's going to lead things off for Oak Ridge. And that is the case. He's hitting in the number 9 slot for Jason Slay. Wildcats have played a lot of players here. Alex has had a really good sophomore year on the hill for the Wildcats. Mark, if you'll address that, the way Alex has really pitched well this year for Oak Ridge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's been, I think, one of our more underrated pitchers, especially with how fast he pitches. Most teams aren't used to that. So, yeah, he's been really a valuable addition this season.
First pitch to Alex is outside and high. 1 no strikes the count. We're in the fifth inning, 15-0. The Wildcats put 4 on the board in the first, 4 unearned runs, and 11 runs in the second. That pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. Evens the count at 1 strike. One pitch, hit him in the back. And down the first will go Alex Franklin. So it's been one of those nights here. We've had a lot of players hit by a pitch, and really, Zach hadn't had to move the camera a whole lot here because most of the action is happening right at the home plate area. We've had a lot of hits. Most of them have gone up the middle, too. Some to left as Caden Black stands in. He is 3 for 3 in the ball game. And there's a wild pitch, but no action from Alex Franklin. The game's 15-0. You don't want to rub it in, as I said, and Alex just stays put down at first. Caden ahead in the count, 1 no strikes. Pitch behind him that time, 2 no strikes. He's a little wild, I guess you might say.
Little bit inside, just a little bit.
Yeah, and the last one was a little bit outside. Allen checks the runner at first, working quickly, breaking pitch way outside. Umpire's trying to help him the best he can. I mean, he's calling anything close for him, but he just can't call those. I mean, they're just too far outside or inside.
Yeah, then you start getting into parents yelling range.
Right, and there's ball 4. You know, I'm not going to even bother to do the totals after the ball game. I've got my scorebook is an absolute mess here, and it's dark in the press box here. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. The Wildcats have runners at first and second and nobody out, and we're going to have yet another pitching change. As I mentioned, I think I read earlier this year, and it's always good when you play the Clinton Dragons and beat them. And I think Clinton had a big win over the Dragons earlier this year, or Campbell County did, I'm sorry. And as I said earlier, for Oak Ridge fans, for sure, anytime you beat Clinton, it's a positive. And we'll play Clinton towards the end of the year. I think only once. They're not in our district anymore. They are a 3A school. Oak Ridge, Campbell County are 4A now. We lost Anderson County, Halls, and Clinton out of our district, added West, and moved up a classification, the first ever 4A. It's not a permanent thing. They're going to see if it works out well. They might keep it. They might not. They might go back to the typical 3A that we've had for, 50 years or so. But they're trying it out here. It's just the TSSAA trying to make more and more money, just trying to get more teams a chance to go to the playoffs and play for state championships. I think they're in football. I think there was 9 or 10 different state championships played last year with the private division. There's six. Let's see. There's six state championships in regular classification, and there's two private section state champions. So there, 8 different state titles won in the state of Tennessee in football, and that's for a state the size of Tennessee. In my opinion, is too many. But it's just me on my soapbox here, whatever that saying means. New pitcher here for the Cougars, about done with his warm-ups here. The batter in a moment is going to be Logan Rosenberger. Logan has reached base on a triple, knocked in a couple back in that long second inning when the Wildcats put so many runners on and scored 11 in the second. We thought we might get out of here quickly. It hadn't been quite as quick as we had anticipated, especially with the score at 15-0. Wildcats trying to get more here. And the batter now, indeed, will be Logan Rosenberger. Logan's a senior Wildcat. He'll, I guess, get the start tomorrow against Campbell County. He typically gets the Monday starts. Because of Easter, they moved the game to Tuesday-Wednesday series. We will not have a covering the bases show. Might do a Wildcat Roar show, as that pitch is a called strike to Logan. Logan will be followed in the Wildcat order by Alex McNaughton. A little cross up there between the catcher and the pitcher. Pitcher's not a very tall guy. Catcher just kind of dominates him physically standing up on the mound, though. Catcher comes wandering back behind the plate. One strike the count. Caden Black is the runner at first. Alex Franklin down at second. The one strike pitch. Eventually. Hit foul back to the screen, and the count is 0-2. Pretty good turnout of fans here at Bobby Hopkins Field. 45 viewers on our YouTube channel. Steadily moving up the list. What usually happens here, all the games are archived, so you can go back and watch any Oak Ridge game that we've done. Basketball, football, baseball, all the way back to the 80s, actually, on some of them, as that pitch is cut on and missed, and Rosenberger is a strikeout victim, and that is out number 1 here in the 5th inning, and the batter for the Wildcats will be Alex McNaughton. Alex has scored, a couple of runs. He has reached base safely twice. And he stands in, right-handed hitting senior. The pitch, high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Zach Norman doing camera work here for us. I mentioned the other people with us. We have Joey Weston and Mark Pinchback. A lot of players. That ball's ripped to left. It's going to drift foul, though. Once again, he probably not home run distance. He hit one earlier in the ball game that had home run distance but was also fouled. This one probably would have one-hopped the fence at about 330 feet. If you've ever been to Bobby Hopkins, down the left field line is 348 feet. To the power alleys, it's 368. To dead center is 357 and 328 to right. Pitch is high. Just an example, Truist Park down the left field line is 330. That's a major league park. Here at Bobby Hopkins, it's 348 down the left field line. So 402 to center in Truist. So it's deeper in center. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, it hit him. And we got another base runner. Down the third will go Alex Franklin. Down the second will go Hayden Black and Alex McNaughton. Wildcats have loaded the bases, I believe, for the 8th time in the ball game. And the Wildcats will, let's see, stepping in for the Wildcats. Pitch is high and inside. Eli Baldwin, the batter for the Wildcats. Had a lot of different Wildcats play in this one. Bases loaded, 15-0 Oak Ridge, cut on and miss. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm going to give you this now for the two of you. You split it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mark, you weren't part of the original crew, or you'd be in the money too. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Kind of a chilly evening here at Bobby Hopkins Field, but it's always great to be out at the old ballpark watching Oak Ridge Wildcat baseball. 1-2 pitch, 15-0 the score. Cut on, fouled back to the screen. Stays alive here. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know what's better than watching the baseball?
That would be playing baseball.
Playing the baseball.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But some of us, you and I, are a little past that age. I'm way past that age. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Joey plays hockey now. He was a baseball player. That pitch is down low a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach, I remember Zach Dorman playing football at Robertsville. Played some soccer for the Wildcats too. ACL injury, he says, has kind of hampered him a bit. So we've got 4 athletes in the booth. Kind of. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. Outside corner for a call strike. There was no way in the world he could have reached that, but as we said, it is 15-0. So that is out number 2, and Riley Rehill will bat again for the Wildcats. And this is his second plate appearance of the game. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. Right-handed hitter, bases loaded. Top of the 5th inning, 15-0 Wildcats. Ball bounces away from the catcher just a bit, and the count is 1-0. Carpenter bees flying in and out of the press box here.
You know what, David? I think it's actually only 2 of them. I think there's only 2 of them that have been flying.
They're
in and
just
out.
those 2 are just very annoying.
Can we count them? Can we count them to our spectators?
Well, we're up to 46, so I mean,
So I guess we got 48 then.
48, right. Right-handed hitter. Rehill stands in. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. 4 runs in the first, 11 in the second. The Cougars have been shut out to this point. And that pitch is way up high, and Wildcats threatening to get another run in on a bases-loaded walk and a RBI for Rehill if this one's out of the zone here. We'll see. 3 balls and no strikes the count. Called a strike on the outside corner, and the count now is 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here, 3 on for the Wildcats. We're in the 5th. Campbell County will need 15 to tie to keep the game going, at least. That pitch is hit right back our way, and Mark can't make the play. Goes over the top of the press box, and the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mark, I thought you had it.
It was just out of my reach. I was, if I wasn't sitting down, I would have got it.
Well, maybe next time. The odds it's kind of the odds of getting one in this booth are really difficult anyway. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air, foul territory, third baseman coming over. He staggers, but he makes the catch for out number 3. So the Wildcats load the bases again, but fail to score. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cougars need 15 to keep this game. Well, actually, they need 9 to keep. Actually, what's the score? They need 6 to keep the game going. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, 15-0 our score. We'll be back on YouTube in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. This is it for Campbell County. If they can't rally, if they're down by 10 after 5, the game's over. They're down 15 right now. Looks like Alex McNaughton is going to take over on the hill. The Wildcats have, looks like John Ulrich at first base. We've got some other changes. Mark, what are those other changes?
How far did you get?
I got Ulrich and McNaughton.
So Izzy Mitchell is now in center, Riley Rehill still in right, and Caden Updegraft has moved to left.
Thanks a lot. That is Mark Pinchback, former Oak Ridge Wildcat baseballer. The Wildcats on top, 15-0 here over Campbell County. Joey Weston doing the PA work here. James Branson, a no-show here today at Bobby Hopkins Field. He and Tyler Carr have done most of the work this year and last year. Alex's pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. The Cougars only have 1 hit in the ball game. That came against Updegraft in the 4th inning. 3 different Cougars have been hit by pitches and 1 has walked. Cut on a miss, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Park still behind the plate for the Wildcats. He's gone all the way. Senior catcher for the Wildcats. The lefty McNaughton comes with a slow one, a little bit high, and the count on the scoreboard at 1-2. McNaughton has the sign, the 1-2 pitch. That's high. And that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of the good things here as of late, the scoreboard has been kind of malfunctioned most of the years. That pitch is cut on a miss, and that is a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 1. So the Cougars are down to their final 2 outs here in the ballgame.
Yeah, so not entirely sure what is going on with the scoreboard. I know they've been replacing lights pretty much throughout the year. The 5th inning lights, unfortunately, still don't work, but everything else should.
Oh, pretty good pitch from Alex McNaughton. Wildcats coming off of a pretty devastating loss the other day against Kingston, but it bounced back nicely here in this district ball game. There's a called strike at the belt. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out here, nobody aboard here. 15-0 Wildcats. Oak Ridge will play Campbell County again tomorrow. Pitches on the inside corner for a called strike, and he falls behind now 1-2. Wildcats still have Clinton to go on their schedule. I'm trying to think of the schedule. That pitch is up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I know they got the Dragons still to go on their schedule. I think maybe a game of Stone Memorial. I'm trying to think. Look at their schedule here. We'll pass it down here. There's a ball. Looking at the schedule here, the Wildcats still have, let's see, after tonight, they'll play South Doyle on the 21st, Anderson County on the 22nd. And Cookville, actually, I'm looking at the wrong one. On the 23rd, they'll play Cookville. 28th, they'll play the Claiborne County game has been called off. Stone Memorial on April the 29th, Clinton May the 2nd, and they'll close out the regular season against the Coalfield Yellow Jackets on May the 3rd. Thank you for the scheduling update here. While I was talking, a walk, and McNaughton has a runner at first with one out, and he throws a strike. And the count is no balls and one strike. Baseball should be played in warm weather, but as we talked about earlier, it has been cold or cool all season long, really. Cut on a miss, and the count is no balls and two strikes. Yeah, some springs, it's warm weather the entire season, but this year has just not been the case. 0-2 pitch, cut on a miss. And that is a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 2. And the Cougars are down to their last batter, and he'll stand in with a runner at first, down 15-0. District 3 action here from Bobby Hopkins Field, a game you've watched live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. McNaughton to the plate. There's a called strike, and the count is no balls and one strike. Good turnout of Cougar fans here today and Wildcat fans, some students here. McNaughton's pitch is low, and the count is 1-1. Runner first, 2 outs, 5th inning. Cougars down to their final batter here. 1-1 pitch, cut on a missed. 1 strike away from victory and a district win for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge 4-4 in the district. Still has an outside opportunity, I think, to host at least some of the district tournament. Pitches outside. They, as I mentioned earlier, they got swept by Powell. They split with Central. They split with West. They swept Carnes. And they're playing Campbell County here. Well, a chance to win this one and sweep tomorrow if they can get a victory. Pitches hit foul back to the screen, and count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Because Travis Free's Wildcats leading 15-0 this one. I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk to him or not. Pitches hit foul back to the screen. Cougars have had some success this year. They've won a few ball games. I've seen from the La Follette newspaper that's on my Twitter account that I've viewed. I know they beat Clinton. I know they've beaten some others, but tonight just not their night. They had way too many errors and too many hit batsmen. And there's a swinging strike, maybe a foul tip. They tag him out at the plate, and that's your old ball game. The Wildcats have won. And the final score of the ball game, Oak Ridge defeats the Campbell County Cougars by a final score of 15-0. Mark, just your final comments about this win.
Well, I just have to agree with you what you said earlier about too many errors, just especially that 10-run inning, and the pitching needs to improve for Campbell County if they want to have a chance tomorrow.
So the Wildcats win at 15-0. We appreciate all of you watching our game from Bobby Hopkins Field as the two teams head out towards the center of the diamond here at Bobby Hopkins Field to shake hands with one another. Great sportsmanship displayed by these two longtime rivals, and big win for the Wildcats. They needed to get back. They had a tough one against Kingston the other day where they led at one point 10-1 and just couldn't hold on. So they needed to bounce back with a win, and they got a big one. Big district win over the Cougars, and they'll play Campbell County again here tomorrow. I believe it's going to be 6:30 again will be the start time for Oak Ridge and Campbell County. I won't hold it too long. Hopefully I'll get a chance to speak to Coach Travis Free. If not, we'll close it out. Wildcats win it 15-0 here from Bobby Hopkins. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field, where the Wildcats of Oak Ridge have just knocked off the Campbell County Cougars by a score of 15-0. The Wildcats saw them score 4 unearned runs in the fourth inning. 3 errors in that inning really helped the Wildcats, obviously. Wildcats had a couple hits in the inning. Truett, Tex, and Caden Black had hits, but the rest, the Cougars provided the offense with their poor defending defense, and Wildcats scored 4 unearned runs. The Wildcats picked up 11 runs in the second inning, and a lot of those due to errors by Campbell County. Some good hitting by the Wildcats as well, but for the most part, Campbell County just not up to the task here tonight against the Wildcats. Big nights hitting for Caden Black. He had 3 hits in the ball game. Caden Updegraff, Logan Rosenberger, along with Alex McNaughton, along with just about everybody. I'm starting to name off the whole team here. Every position in the scorebook, all 9 positions who batted, somebody in that position scored at least 1 run. We had some pinch runners. And the good thing about this ball game is Coach Free got to play a lot of different players, and that's always good. I know it makes it a lot more fun when you get a chance to get out and play a little ball, because a lot of these games have been close for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge hasn't had the luxury to play a ton of players in all those ball games. But tonight, one of those cases where I don't know that everybody played, but just about everybody played. I mean, it was a good night for the Wildcats, a good night for the home team. Wildcats hosting Campbell County and come away with a 15-0 win. Coach Free, he's a long-winded coach. After ball games, he's still out there talking. I think after 15-0, there's not a whole lot more you can say about it. They posted a shutout. They played a flawless game in the field. I don't remember any errors for the Wildcats here. I didn't write them down here. I guess the only negatives defensively would be a couple hit batsmen, I think 3. But for the most part, they hit well. They hit timely. In fact, I believe all 15 runs scored after 2 outs. For the most part, they did. So a big night offensively for the Wildcats, and everybody got a chance to play. I'm going to take one more little pause here, and when we come back, hopefully, I'll be speaking to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. Final score of the ball game, the Wildcats win. They knock off Campbell County here at Bobby Hopkins Field, 15-0. Hopefully, we'll be back with Coach Free in a moment. Well, the huddle's broken up for the Wildcats here, and hopefully Coach Free's going to come over. He's jogging this way. Is he coming to talk to me? Hopefully so. Maybe not. There's a race here between McNaughton out here and somebody else. Hopefully Coach Free will come over to speak to me. Joey might have to go remind him. We'll get a chance to speak to the head coach of the Wildcats. Wildcats win it 15-0. They're wandering over. Looks like I thought they were heading over to get the tarp, but maybe not. I don't think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but maybe we'll get Coach Free up here. I'm going to take one more hesitation here on our broadcast here. I want to speak to the head coach of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge wins 15-0. Hopefully Coach Free will be with us in a moment.
Right here. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Is it easier to put them in the locker room instead of putting them? Well, then just put them in the locker room.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Joining me is the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. Social distancing interview here. We're up in the press box, dark up here, but Coach.
Can I get closer, Joey? So I can hear.
Yeah. First off, congratulations. Big district win. Bounce back win, really, from that Kingston game the other day where had that game won, and you had a few days to think about that one. Today you did about everything right. You pitched well, timely hitting, 2-out scoring.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of your runs were with 2 outs. You took advantage of their mistakes in the field. Timely hitting, good base running, lots of stolen bases, fielded almost a perfect ball game. Hit a few batters. That's probably the only negative, I guess. Big win, big district win. Yep. You're now 5-4 in the district.
That's right. Well, it's a huge win, honestly, because all the things that are happening tonight in the conference. Powell beat Central. Carnes is up big on West right now, 7-0. So all those things are trending in our favor. If we can just do our part and finish out strong, we should stay in second place and kind of hopefully finish in second place is the hope. And so that's where we're sitting right now.
Well, let's talk about that. You and I haven't really had a chance to talk here. We talked on the TV show a couple weeks ago that perhaps if you finish second, you get a chance to host a little bit of the district tournament. So right now you are in second place?
As long as Carnes finishes up the win tonight against there, we should be alone in second place at that point. But, obviously we all have games tomorrow night to go. But that split in that series looks like we'll get the tiebreaker in that. I know that it looks like Central's one that could, if Central happened to split with Powell, they still have a game that they have to go play against Campbell County. So there's still a chance there. There's still some things going on. But it looks like if everything trends in the direction that it would, we would have a chance and we would be second place, which means we would get a first-round bye and we would host the first round here at Hopkins.
So one more district game, that is tomorrow. It'll be officially your home ball game here at Bobby Hopkins Field against Campbell County. This was their game. Campbell County's I know they had a big win over Clinton earlier, so they've had some success this year. But just talk about this game today and how you guys played.
Well, like I was just telling them there, we played good in 1 inning and 1 spurt with 2 outs. And really, if it wasn't for an appeal call that we got to go in our favor, I think we scored 9 runs to follow that. So without that, who knows with the game? We still were in a 6-0 lead. We still had a chance. We may go a little bit. One thing that scares me a little bit when you win like that, I think I played every single person on the team. I played every single person that had a uniform on today except one pitcher that just kind of is a pitcher only. So with that being said, that's a big, I'm worried about that we come out flat tomorrow because we don't have that edge about us because of what we did and how we won.
Coach, you got a chance. Jacob pitched well. He faced the minimum for the most part and got a big double play in it. And you got Caden Updegraff a chance to pitch a little bit more. I think he'd pitched maybe one other time. One thing you've told me all season long, you're trying to get more depth in pitching. You've got 3 pretty good starting pitchers, but you're trying to find others. And looks like Caden's kind of maybe emerging to be one of those guys later on.
Well, we live and learn. I've had to go through experience. I've spent a lot of time messing with, in the bullpen, doing a lot of work here lately to get back and figure out all the people I have on our pitching staff and trying to find ways to get more guys involved. Alex McNaughton is a big piece of their thing. I've mismanaged him as a coach. I need to get him more involved in the lineup. I need to get him more involved on the mound, and so tonight I wanted to make a point to get him in there. Caden Updegraff came in relief for us against Catholic, hadn't pitched for us at all year, threw a bunch of strikes, did a lot of really good things for us. Once again today, we have a good night. He's able to strike out the side, kind of walked a couple in the middle there, but he's walked to one hit, got a hit. But I'm trying to develop a little bit of depth because we all know that if we're going to make it deep in the district, you're going to have at least 6 to 7 guys who can give you a chance. Right now, I feel really good about 3. Bryson Parks threw a rehab assignment for me yesterday in the bullpen. Really looks good. And really, if you go back and look at it last year, I was going back to look at some charts to get ready for Campbell County and do a scouting report, and I noticed that Bryson Parks threw against them in the district tournament. Bryson Parks had 5 wins for us last year on the mound, and he was our number 3 starter all year. He's thrown 4 outs for us this year, and he's just now getting stronger and healthier, which is going to be great for us. I plan on giving him a start later in the week this week just to get him back, limit how many innings he goes, try to get him 3, and then maybe hopefully next Friday at Stone Memorial get him back for another start just to try to start getting him ready to get us ready in the district because Bryson is a huge piece of our pitching rotation, and we've not been able to use him at all so far.
Coach, I appreciate you coming up here. I know your guys are working on the field out there. Congratulations on the win, and good luck tomorrow.
Huge win. It's going to be a good night tomorrow. It's going to be 70 degrees out here, so everybody need to come out instead of, watching us on YouTube tomorrow.
Right.
Let's get out here to the ballpark. It's going to be a good night. I think they're having a faculty cornhole out in the parking lot with food and all kinds of stuff. Should be a good night here, so hopefully we'll have a pretty good crowd tomorrow. It'll be fun. So hopefully we can close the deal on the district and come up with another win.
Coach, thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, David.
Coach Travis Free, head coach of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge knocks off the Campbell County Cougars by a final score of 15-0 here at Bobby Hopkins Field. That about does it here. Wildcats winners at Bobby Hopkins. Appreciate Zach Dorman and Joey Weston for helping out with our broadcast today. Once again, the final score of the Wildcats knock off Campbell County 15-0. This is David Clary. Until next time, saying so long, everybody. You got a chance to play.
Yeah. But we have one that it's over there.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right, Zachary. That's good.
Well,
I mean, instead of you.
I'm just shooting.
Yeah. I guess that's what Colin was playing too.
Yeah. He says he's here to eat seeds and trash talk.
You know around the ditch?
Yeah, Joey.
Joey, he's only helped one.
I know. I was kidding.
What's or not?
Sorry.